people. I'm back. This is Hakakura. Hello, Accidental Existence. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be doing some coding. I did a big old herkin 4 hour long hacking stream earlier today. I did about an hour and a half of coding. And I got to this part right here, which you can obviously see is all jacked up. And I was trying to figure out how to do stuff. I can't watch a show. I can't watch a movie. I can't listen to music. I can't enjoy YouTube. I can't sit here and do nothing. This won't get out of my fucking brain. My God, I suck. Oh. Like legit. Like I'm sitting here bouncing my leg and causing myself anxiety because I'm sitting here thinking about how much I am so tired of watching all the stuff that I've watched. And I'm so tired of doing all this other stuff. And I just want to get back here and figure out these problems because this is fun. Fun for me. So even if I just sit here and do nothing but make it worse, at least I can tolerate that. Anyway, I really like that song that was just going on, so I'm gonna mess around here in OBS and I am gonna put that song on a loop. I'm gonna put it right there. Capture media source. We're gonna call this Go. And we're going to browse. That song is from White Bat Audio, Mr. Carl Casey himself, from his album called Visitation. And it is called, what is it called? I have to go look that up. Hold on. Pardon me while I go off screen right quick. Dev lobby. What are you called? What's your name? What's this name? Properties. Last stop. Okay, so, pardon me. It's called, move it down here. It's from his album called Visitation, and it's called Last Stop. This is an awesome song, and I'm going to make it loop. And it doesn't matter where it's at. I'm sorry for your ears. My apologies. But I'm going to have to adjust my chair too. I was all kicked back and relaxed, but it's a little too much. Just a wee amount. And I need more vertical. It's killing my knees. Alrighty. So, what are we trying to do? We're asking the user for a charge weight, whatever that is. And the user is giving that, and then we are asking them how much we would like to take off for that starting weight. And we saving that in the variable start charge weight. And then we're printing it back to them. Then we're asking them how many rounds they want to do in the test. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a list of where the first number, let me just write this down. Trying to get a list where the list, or where the first number is the starting charge weight, and then numbers in the, well, it would be like in the first position to the nth position, because it's a user defined number of rounds, is the plus 0.1. Excuse me. So that's what we're trying to do, and then we're going to have it print to us. And the reason why we're going to do that, properties, okay, it's looping. The reason why we're going to have it do that is because later on, when we get this data, we're going to want to put it into a nice little chart for someone, so that way they can read it off and they can know what it is. So they're inputting the minimal amount of stuff. They're not having to do any kind of stuff, you know. And I also would want them eventually, I'm not putting this functionality in there now, but I do want them to have the ability to change what it increments by to. So for I in number of test rounds, so 1 to n or 0 to n, right? We should probably, you know what? That would probably end up being in a function. What if we went def So why code is structurally unreachable? Well, that's all I want it to do. Why? Control C, and we are absolutely going to be Googling and all kinds of stuff, because I am dumb. This is paste and go. Nope. What if it's so? Okay, so I am going to ask Google a question. Here's what I'm going to say. Number and append to a list. I increment a user-defined number. Crap. I'm going to increment a user-defined number by 0.1 and add original list comprehension course. Okay. So I need to do a def Hello there. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I couldn't do anything. It's just eating my brain up. Giving me anxiety. Okay. So it doesn't matter the name. We're just going to go def place folder. And the starting node will be start charge weight and number test rounds. And what's got me worried about it is the fact that it is not accessed. Okay. So it's a parameter. Why is it not accessed though? Because it's up here. And this whole round BS, like, I know it shouldn't be rounding anything. And I don't want it to, because some people have equipment that can measure out to the hundredths place. Start node, total elements. But I might be NumPy 2. That'll probably be the best thing. Working, it is recommended to use the round value to avoid floating point precision errors. Okay, well that makes sense, but why would that happen if I'm just working in that? It don't make no sense. Okay. Cleanest approach. This one would probably be easiest in that I would not have to create some elaborate function to do all that nonsense. So I was on a list comprehension before I started trying to do all this freaking, what in tardation? Right, I was just like, just on it or whatever, Well, let me move this chat down there. There you go. You're in a better spot. You're in a better place, man. But my question is, why is it times 0.1? I don't get that. Like, it's not times, it should be plus. I guess that's going to be the cleanest way to do it. And we'll erase this. And we will erase this. So our start node. But that round is like, why is that taking? Because I've seen this too. I asked it another time and it had 2 in here. So let me look up Python. Yep, I know. In digits. Number required. The value to be rounded can be an integer or a float. In digits, this is optional. The number of decimal places to round to. If omitted or none, the function rounds to the nearest integer. Okay. I got you. So I want it to have the capability of 2, but I don't, but most of it won't be showing. I guess we will use the round function and we'll see how that works. So test rounds is the incremented list. We'll go around. Start node is start charge weight plus. It's really bothering me that this is I times 0.1. Why is it times? Why isn't it plus? You know what I mean? I get this part for I, in range number of test runs. I get that part. But why this? Why times? Why not plus? for I. Hold on, let me figure it out. If I had, I need to turn this back to a calculator. If I had 48 and I times it by 0.1, this is not seeming right. We'll run it anyway. YOLO, bro. It's funny, I gotta like debug my code as I go because I'm such a freaking spaz. Unleash the fury, Mitch. We're gonna go easy. We'll just go 50. And we want to minimize it by 2. So we're going to do 48, and so it should be 48, 48.1, all the way to what, like 49 something, 10. That's what I thought. Round generator. That's because I forgot the comma 1. Type error. Round. So this whole thing. Okay, that's why it's doing that though. Comma, and then we'll go here. Did that fix it? Because there's a red thing at the end here. So we have pink and pink, blue and blue, and then here. Comma 1. Do we need 2 of these? No, just 1. Okay, I think that'll do it. And I'll do a Control S. Save my file, please. What? No. Don't you be doing no crazy freaking stuff. Terminal. Okay. Max 50. Minimize to how many rounds? 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't get how that does it. Let me, you know what would that do? Run it now. Two, 10. Freaking hell, that doesn't make sense to me. For some reason, I don't get that. Why is I plus? Because it's I, and the I is for the that's for each number. All right. Okay, copy this. Paste. Enter. Yep. I need to go deep dive mode more. Here. Why does I times one. Explain it. In the loop, I takes the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, multiplying these by... Okay. Now I get it. Okay. It's... But that's not technically correct. Or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good for it in the test, but... Okay, now I get it. Now I get it. Without the rounding might result, rather than exactly through the fix, to ensure the final numbers look clean. I get it now. I get it now, because like we're... I get it. So it takes the values. So it's multiplying it by the position. And it works because it's doing that. If you did that with a different number, would that work too? Yeah, it would. I don't know why that hung me up so bad. Like, that hung me up like hardcore. Like, that got me in the brain meat. It's still kind of like, meh, you know? We got Will the Tech, hello to you. My Twitch channel. Hope you guys are having a good night. I am sorta. I need to open this file to see our notes for this. Okay. So this is what we just did. We're making this class. And this was a function we did. Now we're doing this function. This part is going to come later when we do a user interface for everything. And then so I think that the best option for this thing, because we've already done sort of the same thing, is to have it do that loop where it iterates through all of these, and we are going to, what are we going to collect? We're going to collect MVs, temps, relative humidities, one altitude, one date, time of test, distance to chrono, time between shots. And this is going to be, even though this needs it, this needs these, but there's another location in the program that needs this too. Matter of fact, there's like multiple places where that needs it. So I'm going to have, like specifically for the calculations, I'm going to have that be its own thing entirely. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Go along. Stop it. Okay. Go away. I'll zoom back in for use. I'll have to zoom out some. Hold on. We have this. Control S. We need to do this in here. Control C. Actually, Control C. Control V. Okay. So we got that. CHARGE. So we have this wrong. We are going to tap that over. Now we're good to go. And we will print the test rounds. So I think that we have that good to go. We need to change that again. Number of test rounds. Okay. Let's go through this again. We'll make this big screen for you, so as you can enjoy my garbage code too. Right? Come one, come all. Witness the freak show. All right, test run. So this function asks the user for the max charge weight, whatever that is. Like, you know, okay. You go start charge weight equals max charge rate weight and a float, and then it asks them how much you would like to take off. And it calculates the starting charge weight by doing that. Then we print that out to the user. Then we ask them how many round tests. How many round test would you like to do? That's syntactically annoying a little. How many rounds you like to do test? Okay. And then we have the test rounds, which is list comprehension. And it says round start charge weight I, so it's times the position, and we are doing a rounding of 2. I forgot to add that, not 1, because some people measure out to the hundreds, some people measure out to the thousands with that, but we're we're not going to cater to those degenerates. Those people are too far gone for anything. So it gives us a So we have that good to go. Going to... All right, so we're going to put music on. And we're going to move... I'll get some a little bit more lively. And I need to move the chat. Actually, I'll leave that right there since I'm full screen. I'm going to bring this thing over out of the way so you don't have to witness my notes. Where are we at? Dope data for the test. Okay. So and we can go ahead and collapse you. And what does this need? It needs MVs. It needs temps. It needs relative humidities, altitude. Okay, so we're going to create a empty dictionary. Then we're going to say time. And we're going to have a list of temperature, and here we go, altitude, date, time. Distance, and that's it. And for time, we're gonna go HH, MM, date, month, day, year. X. Then we're gonna have to do equals all of these. Wait a minute. They're all going to need that? They're all numbers? No. just these two, because I'll leave those as strings, and that's just for now. Later on, I'm going to end up using the date time thing, because I'm going to have so muzzle velocity, temperature, relative humidity, time between shots, altitude, and chrono distance. I want the date and the time to be left as strings. And then we are going to literally use the same exact formula that we have been using for our other areas, for our other stuff, to do that. Namely, the dope one, no, this one. Because this has the same thing. It has single, numeric, and multi. And for the one-off values, and we will put a checker in it as well. Copy. And paste. So for key in reload dope single. What's your problem, bro? Doesn't like where he was placed. Okay. I'll leave a space in between there. So user input equals input, enter your key. Try if key is in reload dope numeric. Reload dope data. Oh man, my name sucks. My names suck already. Else. Okay, so that's that though, which is nice because that's one of the benefits. The only thing is that my code is like all gonna look the same. But you know what that means? When I go to refactor, it's all gonna have the same problem. It's all gonna have the same problem, which is gonna be nice, I suppose. But still, you know, still. Okay. All right, what do we got here? So we have that, and then we have a check. We'll put this back to there and back to there. Is that the right spot? It is. And it's this one. That is like important though. I mean, straight up, like it sucks. I feel kind of like repetitive in my stuff because it's all kind of formatted the same. But it is literally what I need to do. I don't know at the current moment of my current skill. I have no idea how to organize this data to the point where like where it could be different, or even that I don't even know if it needs to be. That's the problem. And then I have like the init, like I'm sure that I could refactor it to where I'm doing stuff in this that is in this, but I don't know, you know. Well, we'll just have to see. So we did the multi or the single, right? Yeah. let me collapse this so I can have this up here. And we instantated that, and we're gonna go and we're gonna say reloading dot jam. Thanks IDE dot charge weight. No, we already have that. We'll do this down here. Don't need comments for my test cases. I know what I'm trying to accomplish with these. Same with this one. I'll leave that in there though, since it's so very, very nice. All right, back up to here where we have our first one, and that's for the single 4 key and reload dope single. While we're iterating through it, we're gathering user input for the individual keys for the single. If the key is in this numeric list, then we want to change that shit to a float. If it ain't, then we're leaving it as a string. Move on to the next key if successful. And if you put a key where I want the floats, then you're going in the chokey and you're getting caned in the shins twice. Okay. So we're going to collapse this so we can get this. And this is nearly identical. However, we are looping. We have a extra if statement in here to loop through the key, or loop. The key is meant to be a list, and so we want it to loop through that list until the user says we're done. Now I have it in my notes that I wanted it set to 10. However, it is better if we have it to a user defined amount of whatever they want. It is better. So this is saying for the key in the multi-key, the multi-input, and then it instantates this dictionary with a key, the set key and the empty list value. And we did this because it only creates it if it's missing from the list. So because we ran the single one first. Additionally, I can't remember what it was because I didn't write it. I didn't write it down. But later on, when we do other stuff with this, it's going to make it easier for us somehow. I can't remember what, but it's ideal, so to speak, or whatever. So that instantates this this key and to a list. And then we do the same thing. We say while true, and we're taking that user input, and we say enter your key and type Q when done. And then it breaks that, and it moves on to the next key. And then if the key is in the numeric one, then it tries, it appends the user input, the key, and changes it to a float if it's there. Throws an error if they type a string instead of a float number. And then if not, then it just appends the user input as is. So we want zoom out here so I can get the checker in with it as well, and Control C, and we're just going to be able to change the stuff like we did last time. Enter B. There we go. There we go. And we will start top to bottom. 4 key in. Reload dope multi. What did I call that? Reload dope data. Okay. User input, blah, 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 blah. Load dope merc. Reload dope data. And dope data. And we're going to put it here too. So we want it to do the check for us to make sure. This is just like when we get done, we're going to end up removing all these checkers. But we want to make sure that we're getting the right key value pairs in the right spots for the right keys, getting the right values, and that they're of the right correct type. And for the lists, it shows a list, which is fine, but as long as inside that list I see that it's a float or whatever it needs to be, then that is good. So let me check my notes again. And again, so we're holding off on that just like we're holding off on this. We're gonna put you in a thing. So you can have your own, like, be isolated, right? We're gonna put you there too. Put you in your own thing. Okay. Matplotlib. So it's going to be that's going to be another one. That's that gets lost in it, but it doesn't matter because we're done. Okay, so now this is going to do the same thing that the charge weight did. Let's save that. This is going to do that same thing that the charge weight one did when we're plussing and minusing by this. And the only difference is that it's going to be grouped into 3 rounds. And so we don't need to do that. We're just going to go, it should be a simple seat depth calculation. We're going to take that jam minus 20 there. So we need to go up here and we're going to call the jam initial seat depth in this function. So I am again going to def, oh, that's not it. Did I do that right? I didn't do that right. So I'm going to have to tab that over, and I am going to have to go all up in there, tab it. That work? Oh, thank God. Nice. Gonna be dev placeholder self charge weight. So this will be like this. This is just a one-off. But this is that's a local variable though. Let me look. Again, I can't remember. It's not my job to remember the syntactical bullshit. So how to access a variable and I don't think we can do that. Define a variable within the local scope of the first function. Call the second function and pass the variable in it. Okay. Second function, shared variable. Data is the argument that receives the value from the first function. That's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, because I just need to access that. I don't need to define it as a global variable. Well, because it's just going to need to be accessed by this one function. Like nowhere else will it need to be. I mean, besides that one. So I guess 2 in total. But it will just need to be that. So I need to add a method 1. Second function shared variable. So I would go initial seat depth, and then is not defined. Method 2, using the global keyword. The main scope allows any functions across to modify. This method sparingly, it can only make the code harder to debug and manage in larger programs. Returning the variable. So first function, define the variable, pass it to the second. So this is what we're... Okay, so this is exactly what the init class is for, or functions for, because I like that better. Problem is I like this one better, but it's, why is it yellow squiggling me? Undefined variable. Passing the variable as an argument. Do I have to add it into the thing there? That's method 1, right? Yeah. So this is the most common way to do it, it says. Ay, ay, ay. second function, shared variable, and then you pass it in as something else. But like, why? Initial seed depth. Data is the argument that receives the value from the first function. Oh, so I can call it anything I want? Is that it? So, let me just try it. Alright, I'm gonna have to get off of here because I gotta go sleep in 15 minutes. I gotta go do airport run tomorrow. But we left off here. Seed depth, yeah. What did I call that? I'm just going to go ahead. Bookmark this. And first app info, save. What did I call that? Seed depth test. But I will probably be back tomorrow because I can't get this crap out of my brain, and I can't enjoy TV, can't enjoy YouTube, I can't watch a show, I can't, like, yeah, and I don't know why, man, it's getting to me. So the best way would be to do it inside of the class, would be to like do a self dot initial seeding depth equals, you know, initial seeding depth, and then I would be able to reference it throughout all of these. That's exactly what that's for. However, I don't know how to get that from here into that, or maybe I have it backwards. Maybe if I have it in that, I can access it in this. We shall see, but we are moving right along, doing our stuff. For us, we got it saved. We have only one thing wrong. That's the... Oh, man. I will probably be back tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday is my scheduled day. But yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming and chatting. I appreciate you all. You have a good night, have a good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is, wherever you are. Yeah, hope you have a great day. This is Hakakura. Good night.